Listen to the Buddha's teaching. Look at the person next to you to know if you are receiving blessings or paying karma. Good day to all Dharma friends and seekers. We are gathered today to look into the most immediate, inescapable, and often complex aspect of our lives, our relationships. The Buddha offered a radical and liberating perspective on the human condition. Nothing occurs by accident. Every encounter, every bond, every moment of harmony, and every moment of conflict is rooted in the universal principle of karma, action. We often look at our partners, our children, our parents, our colleagues, or our friends, and wonder, why is this person in my life? Why is this connection so easy? And this other one so difficult? The answer, taught the Buddha, is that the person standing next to you, or the person causing you the most profound challenge, is the clearest manifestation of your own past actions. They are not random strangers, they are your mirror, your teacher, and, in a deep karmic sense, your debt or your reward. Today, we will delve into the profound teachings that allow us to decode this relationship mirror, helping us move from blind reaction to mindful understanding, and transforming every relationship into a tool for liberation. Part 1. The Law of Karma, the Fabric of Destiny. The core teaching of interdependence is karma. The Buddha did not teach a system of divine reward or punishment, but a neutral, natural law of cause and effect, similar to gravity. 1. Karma as volitional action, sadhana. Karma is primarily sadhana, or volitional intention. It is the mental impulse that precedes and directs all actions of body, speech, and mind. It is not the result, vipaka, that matters most, but the intention that seeds the karma. Wholesome karma, kusala, actions rooted in non-greed, alobha, non-hatred, adosa, and non-delusion, amoha, manifesting as generosity, kindness, compassion, and wisdom. Unwholesome karma, akusala, actions rooted in greed, lobha, hatred, dosa, and delusion, moha, manifesting as harm, theft, deceit, and malice. Every relationship we enter, whether it lasts 5 minutes or 50 years, is the inevitable result of a past volitional action, either ours towards them, or theirs towards us, or both in mutual agreement. 2. The relationship as vipaka, result. The person next to you is the living embodiment of vipaka, the fruition of karma. If you encounter someone who supports you unconditionally, who brings joy and ease into your life, who helps you grow without demanding anything in return, this is likely the result of wholesome karma, a past action of generosity, kindness, or support that you are now receiving back. This is what we refer to as receiving blessings. If, however, you find yourself perpetually entangled with someone who is demanding, critical, deceitful, or causes you deep pain and frustration, this is often the result of unwholesome karma, a past action that is now requiring reconciliation. This is what we refer to as paying karma. The universal principle. The karma you enacted in the past dictates the nature of the people who appear in your life now. They are the stage, the script, and the co-actors for the completion of your own karmic narrative. Part 2. The mirror principle, reflection in relationship. The most powerful aspect of the relationship mirror is how it reveals not just past actions, but our current state of mind and unaddressed defilements, kleshas. 1. The immediate reflection. When a relationship brings you tremendous discomfort, the first reaction is always to point the finger outward. They're the problem. They're difficult, demanding, or wrong. The Buddhist approach turns the mirror inward. The discomfort you feel is your own suffering, triggered by the other person's action. If you react to someone's selfishness with intense anger, the mirror is showing you your own attachment to things being done your way. If you react to someone's success with envy, the mirror is showing you your own feeling of lack and your clinging to status, greed. If you are constantly frustrated by someone's pace, the mirror shows you your own impatience and inability to accept impermanence. The other person is simply acting out their own karma. Your reaction is the moment your own karma is being purified or reinforced. The person is the cue, your suffering is the response. 2. The interdependence of identity. In the absence of a fixed self, anatta, our identity is constantly being defined and reinforced by others. We are, in a sense, a collection of reflected identities. When you are around someone who praises you, you feel the successful self. When you are around someone who criticizes you, you feel the failure self. True freedom, vimukti, is realized when you understand that both these reflected identities are empty of inherent existence. The person next to you is not determining your worth. They are merely activating the conditioned view you already hold of yourself. The practice is to observe the reflection without identifying with the reflection. The mirror shows an image, but you are not the image. Part 3. The dynamics of receiving blessings. To receive blessings means to experience relationships that are built on ease, harmony, and mutual support, the fruition of past wholesome karma, punya. 1. Relationships of pure support, punya vipaka. These connections manifest as supportive conditions that facilitate your spiritual and material growth. These relationships are marked by the 4 aspects of the Brahma Viharas, sublime states, from the other person. Metta, loving kindness. The person genuinely wishes you well and acts with kindness towards you. Karuna, compassion. They offer help during your times of difficulty and sorrow. Mudita, sympathetic joy. They celebrate your successes without a hint of envy. Upekkha, equanimity. They respect your boundaries and allow you the freedom to be yourself, offering support without grasping or control. 2. The trap of clinging to blessings. Even beneficial relationships can become a source of suffering if we misunderstand their nature. The danger. We cling to the supportive relationship, believing the person next to us is the permanent source of our happiness. This creates anxiety, fear of loss, and demanding behavior. The wise view. A relationship of blessings must be viewed with gratitude and non-attachment. Recognize the person as a generous manifestation of the karma principle. Appreciate the support fully while understanding that, due to anicca, they too will change, and the dynamics will shift. By accepting the impermanence of the blessing, you prevent future suffering when the relationship naturally evolves or ends. Maintaining the flow. The best way to use the blessing is to generate more wholesome karma. Use the peace and support you receive to practice generosity, ethical conduct, and mindfulness towards others. Part 4. The dynamics of paying karma. To pay karma means to experience relationships that present persistent challenges, conflict, and pain, the fruition of past unwholesome karma. 1. Relationships of reconciliation, akusala vipaka. These relationships are difficult because they force us to face the consequences of past negative actions. The person who is causing you pain, anger, or fear is giving you a direct opportunity to settle an old karmic account. The debt of harm. If you were abusive or deceptive in the past, you may now encounter someone who is abusive or deceitful toward you. The debt of greed. If you were possessive or withholding, you may now encounter someone who clings to you or tries to control you. The pain is the purification. The challenge is the clearing of the debt. 2. The opportunity for transformation. The karmic debt relationship offers the greatest opportunity for spiritual growth, but only if approached with wisdom. The wrong response, reinforcing karma, reacting to the person's negativity with your own hatred, anger, or retaliation. This reinforces the cycle, creating new, fresh negative karma that will manifest in the future. You not only fail to settle the old debt but incur a new one. The wise response, settling karma. Approach the situation with patience, khanti, and forbearance. Recognize the person as your teacher, showing you exactly where your weaknesses lie. When they are angry, respond with kindness, metta. When they are demanding, practice generosity, dana, within your ethical limits. When they are challenging, observe your own frustration with mindfulness, sammasati. By responding with wisdom and compassion, you break the cycle. You pay the old debt without incurring a new one, thus freeing yourself from the relationship's negative karmic pull. The relationship has served its purpose and will often naturally soften, shift, or dissolve peacefully. 3. Deepening the practice of forbearance, khanti. Patience, khanti, is not merely enduring suffering, it is the active, deliberate decision to withhold the unwholesome response. It is the spiritual muscle that allows us to pay the karmic debt without compounding the interest. The 3 levels of khanti. A profound practitioner of khanti moves through 3 stages in a difficult relationship. Endurance, adavasana khanti. The initial stage where one physically and mentally endures the pain or provocation without striking back in kind. This prevents the immediate creation of new, severe negative karma. It is the basic defense. Acceptance, karma khanti, moving beyond simple endurance to consciously accept the suffering as the vipaka of past actions. This acceptance removes the victim mentality, why me? Which is a subtle form of spiritual pride. When one accepts, the mind is settled, and the internal struggle against reality ceases. Transformation, parinama khanti, the highest form, where the suffering is actively used as a catalyst for growth. The difficult person becomes a priceless teacher. An externalized cliché that shows us precisely where our non-attachment is weak. We use the pain to generate metta and karuna towards the aggressor, understanding that their action is rooted in their own suffering and delusion. This transforms the energy of conflict into the energy of spiritual power. Khanti and setting boundaries. It is vital to understand that khanti does not mean passive submission to abuse or harm. Patience is applied to your own mind. restraining the urge to retaliate with hatred. It does not preclude right action, samma kamanta, which includes the ethical necessity of setting firm, nonviolent boundaries to protect oneself and others from harm. Setting a boundary is an act of wisdom and compassion, not retaliation, and is fully aligned with Kanti. Part 5. The practice of mindful relationship, using the Eightfold Path. The ultimate goal is to transcend the duality of blessing and karma payment by seeing all relationships as opportunities for the Noble Eightfold Path. 1. Right view and right intention, wisdom. Right view, samma ditthi. See the relationship clearly as kama vipaka, cause and effect. Abandon the delusion that this person is intrinsically good or bad. They are simply the result of conditions. Every interaction is a conditioned process. Right intention, samma sankappa, commit to non-harming, non-greed, and loving kindness within the relationship, regardless of the other person's behavior. This means your primary goal is purification of your own mind, not control of the other person. This shift in intention is the first moment of liberation. 2. Right speech and right action, ethics. Our relationships are the training ground for ethical conduct, sila. Right speech, samma vaka, use communication to promote harmony and truth, not conflict or deceit, especially in moments of tension. Abstain from harsh words or divisive gossip about the other person. Practice silence when speech cannot be helpful or kind. 4 principles of right speech in conflict. 1. Is it true? 2. Is it kind? 3. Is it timely? 4. Is it useful? If all 4 are not present, silence is the wisest response. Right action, samma kamanta. Ensure your actions towards them are always non-violent and respectful, even when setting necessary boundaries. Right action ensures that even if you separate from a challenging relationship, the separation itself is done ethically, leaving no new negative seeds of karma. Right livelihood, samma ajiva, in the context of relationship. This extends to ensuring your livelihood does not corrupt your ability to maintain ethical and mindful connections with your family, partner, or community. Avoid work that consumes all your time and energy, leaving nothing for the nurturing of wholesome relationships. 3. Right mindfulness and concentration, mental discipline. Mindfulness is the operational key to freedom in relationships. Mindfulness of feeling, vedana, when the person next to you speaks. Do not immediately react to the words. First, observe the feeling that arises in your body and mind, anger, sadness, fear, or joy. Label and release. Label the feeling, rising anger, contracting fear. By naming the feeling, you create a space between the stimulus, their action, and your response, your suffering. This space is your liberation. Observing interdependence. See the relationship not as I against you, but as 2 sets of conditioned aggregates, the 5 aggregates, interacting. The conflict is between their conditioned mind and your conditioned mind, not between 2 fixed souls. Right effort, samma vayama, the continuous effort to prevent unwholesome thoughts about the other person, judgment, hatred, revenge, from arising, and to cultivate wholesome states, patience, compassion, instead. In relationship, right effort is the commitment to look for the goodness in the other. even when difficult. Part 6. The relationship as a field for the paramitas, perfections. The Mahayana tradition emphasizes the paramitas, perfections, as the heart of the bodhisattva path. A relationship, particularly a challenging one, is the single most effective field for cultivating these perfections. 1. Dana Paramita, perfection of generosity. In relationships, dana is not just giving gifts, it is giving unconditional presence, forgiveness, and understanding. Giving time, kala dana. Giving your partner or child your undivided attention, free from distraction. Giving security, abhaya dana, providing a safe emotional space where they can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. This is vital in karmic debt relationships where trust is often broken. Giving merit, punya dana, dedicating the merit of your spiritual practice, meditation, kanti, to the welfare of the person next to you, especially the one causing you suffering. 2. Sila paramita, perfection of morality, ethics. This is the commitment to consistency and integrity in the relationship, ensuring that your words and actions are aligned with truth and non-harming, regardless of their compliance. This means honoring agreements, maintaining honesty, and upholding compassion even when you feel justified in being angry or vengeful. Sila in relationship is the unbreakable promise not to use your power to harm. 3. Kanti paramita, perfection of patience, forbearance. This is the central teaching for karmic reconciliation. Kanti is the recognition that the other person is a teacher, and their difficulty is the price of a priceless lesson. The willingness to suffer the present moment rather than escape into anger or blame. The acceptance that karma unfolds according to its own pace. You cannot rush the debt payment. The perfection of kanti means waiting with dignity and grace for the karmic knot to unravel. 4. Virya paramita, perfection of effort, diligence. In relationship, virya is the relentless effort to not give up on the wholesome response. When you have been hurt, the mind wants to retreat in hate. Virya is the spiritual exertion to continuously turn the mind back toward metta, even if you have to do it 1,000 times a day. The diligence to maintain your own practice, meditation, study, so that you have the mental resources to meet the challenge of the relationship with strength, not exhaustion. 5. Dhyana paramita, perfection of meditation, concentration. Dhyana in relationship is the capacity to maintain single-pointed, clear awareness during high-stress interactions. The ability to listen deeply, fully present, without simultaneously composing your counter-argument. The ability to see the other person's suffering, their dukkha, even as they are inflicting pain upon you. This deep focus cuts through the illusion of their anger being personal. 6. Prajna paramita, perfection of wisdom. Prajna is the insight that illuminates the ultimate reality of the relationship. Emptiness, sunyata. Seeing the empty self. There is no fixed I who is being harmed, and no fixed other who is the permanent harmer. There are only momentary, conditioned processes interacting. Seeing the empty karma, the action being paid, karma, and the payment itself, vipaka, are all empty of permanent substance. This insight dissolves the solidity of the karmic debt, accelerating its dissolution. The moment you truly see that the conflict is empty of a fixed owner, the conflict itself loses its power. Part 7. The Unbinding, Releasing the Karmic Knot. The final stage of wisdom is not just managing relationships but transcending the very need for them to validate or define us. This is the path to Nibbana, the ultimate unbinding. 1. The three gates of liberation, Tri-Vimoksha. To break the karmic cycle entirely, we pass through the three gates of ultimate wisdom. A. The gate of emptiness, Sunyata. We see all relationship concepts, partner, friend, enemy, debtor, creditor, as empty of inherent, fixed nature. They are merely labels for a fluid, interdependent dance of conditions. When a conflict arises, we stop reinforcing the solidity of the concept, my spouse is always X, I am always right. Instead, we see the empty nature of the moment, which allows for immediate change and resolution. B. The gate of signlessness, Animitta. We stop imposing past expectations, signs, onto the present person. We let go of the sign of what they were yesterday, or what they promised to be tomorrow. This is the practice of radical presence in relationship. You meet the person as they are now, free from the burden of their or your history. This is particularly crucial in long-term relationships where the mind is constantly comparing the present person to the signs of the past. C. The gate of wishlessness, Apranahita. This is the ultimate contentment. We cease wishing the relationship were different, the person were different, or the outcome were different. We abandon the deep-seated desire for the relationship to provide permanent happiness, protection, or stability. We simply tend to the garden of the present connection without demanding a specific bloom. This absence of wishing is the absence of future suffering. 2. The final act of reconciliation. The highest act of paying karma is performed in the absence of a self and in the presence of unconditional love. When you offer metta to a difficult person, knowing that there is no fixed I giving the metta, and no fixed them receiving it, only the flow of wholesome energy, the karmic debt is not just paid, it is dissolved. The relationship then ceases to be a karmic obligation and becomes a simple, pure coexistence. Whether the two people stay together or separate is then determined by external conditions, not by the heavy, binding force of unresolved karma. The greatest gift you can give the person next to you is your own liberation. When you are free from the cycle of hatred and attachment, you cease to be a source of negative karma for them, and the entire system achieves harmony. Conclusion. The interwoven net of life. We must realize that the person next to us is not just a reflection of our past, but a necessary component of our present journey toward enlightenment. They are the field in which we sow the seeds of patience, kindness, and wisdom. Whether you are enjoying the sweetness of blessings or enduring the friction of karmic payment, approach the relationship with the same mindset. Gratitude. Be grateful for the lesson and the opportunity. Mindfulness. Observe your own reaction, not just their action. Forbearance. Respond with the highest ethical conduct you can muster. When we view every person as an integral part of the interwoven net of karma, the world ceases to be a source of random suffering and becomes a perfect, personalized curriculum designed for our ultimate liberation. May your relationships be a source of profound learning, May you break the karmic cycle with wisdom and compassion. May all beings find peace.